the Agile brand.
A lot of effort gets spent on the acquisition of new customers, whether you're in a B2C or B2B focused company. But the experience of onboarding customers can have a huge impact on their loyalty and retention. So, companies that focus on improving the onboarding experience can take advantage of this key part of the customer journey to build a long term lasting relationship. Welcome to One Amazing Thing About Rocketlane. I'm your host, Greg Kihlström, and I'd like to welcome Srikrishnan Ganesan, co-founder and CEO of Rocketlane, and he will be sharing one amazing thing about Rocketlane with us today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Greg.
Yeah,
Excited to showcase.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing it in action here. Before we do that, though, why don't we start with you giving a little background on you and your role at Rocketlane?
Yeah, I'm the co-founder and CEO here at Rocketlane. We are three of us who started the company together. Today we're like a 140 member team. This is our second venture as founders. Previously built something, got acquired in 2015, spent 7.5 years on the previous journey overall. And 2020 we started Rocketlane, and it's been going very well.
Nice. Well, congrats on that acquisition. So yeah, number two here. So that's great. Well, so we're going to take a look at a feature of Rocketlane today. What I'd like to do before you start sharing is, who's the audience for this? What are kind of the problems they're trying to solve, and why is this relevant to them?
Right. So our ICP, or the audience who uses our product, is essentially any kind of services team. Could be a professional services team, consulting team, marketing agency, anyone who's running projects collaboratively with clients. We are in a category called onboarding and professional services automation. So if you think about teams that need to do time tracking, managing their resources, running projects with clients, understanding like the profitability of their engagements, that's the team that we support with a very all-in-one software.
Great. Well, yeah, let's take a look then. Why don't you share your screen?
Sure. So what I'm going to focus on in sharing my screen is one aspect, one feature, though I think not doing justice to it by calling it a feature. The thing that's very unique about us is how we've designed this very elaborate customer portal experience, where if you're working with a client, the client should have an experience built for them. Internally, you want very powerful tooling capabilities to run projects, automations, governance things that happen, the time tracking, all of that. But for the customer, you want something that's more, focused on consumption, focused on like no learning curve for them, an easy experience.
Yeah.
What we've tried to do with this customer portal is make it sort of this UX for your partnership with the client. So this is not just about sharing a project, but a very all-in-one interface. And that's what I'm going to showcase. All right. So what you're seeing here is what a client portal can look like. Now, you're going to completely design this portal to make it your own, right? So think of it as you can a portal that's dynamic. It's going to evolve based on the stage of the client. So when you're first starting with them, when you're first introducing yourself to them, maybe it starts with a little bit of a landing page where you're like, hey, welcome. Here's like a video saying, hey, here's what you can expect from our engagement. Maybe there's an intake form somewhere. Maybe there's some stories of like successful customers, just to get them motivated to get going with you, right?
Yeah.
And then you can have a separate tab which represents the engagement with them, right? So you can say, hey, here's what's happening. Here's where we are. Here's all the activities that are ongoing. Here's the different stages we're going to take you through. So to start with, this could be an onboarding plan, but eventually it can be your ongoing engagement that gets represented here as well, right? So you have different elements of that. You can also have, various sections you create. Here's our team. Here's like the people working from both sides, etc.
Yeah.
All your resources, whether it's like, documents, presentations you made, content you created, meeting notes, all of that also resides within the same experience. So you can have it, I'll show you how you design this, but you can have all of that in one place too. You can also have a place where the client can go in and make a request. Hey, I have a change request to something. I want to look at the whole service catalog and make a request. I want to submit my goals for the engagement. If you're an agency, maybe it's like, hey, I have a new PR that we want to do. I have an intake form. So all of those can also go into the same portal. And then all the communication you send out, right? Maybe it's a weekly status update, maybe it's, welcome email, all of that also goes into the portal where you can see the history of the engagement in one place. Of course, there's chat, there's notification, there's like, if you're running multiple initiatives with the customer, they can get a look at that as well, all in one place. There's also a whole experience around how you design these portals. So there's different pages you can create, different sections you can add to it. It could be a project plan, it could be a form, static content, resources, how many hours are left in your engagement, etc., etc. All of it comes in. And you also have conditional logic you can build in to say, hey, show these sections depending on the stage of the project, for example, or depending on the nature of the project. So which portal theme you apply and how it turns out is all, again, up to you how you configure this and use it. But the idea is to give you this one-stop shop experience for your client where this is also branded by you, right? Your colors, your theme, your URL. You can call it onboard.agencyname.com or, delivery.agency.com and make that your engagement portal overall.
Yeah, this is really powerful. I mean, it's because I think having been through a few projects of my own and all this, it's like that process of just, where is, name the document, name the conversation, name the, whatever it is that you're looking for. Like it can be so confusing. And, if your vendor is sending things by email, it's like, okay, what email thread did they respond to this question that I had? So, having all that stuff in one place seems incredibly helpful and convenient. And also just, I think it answers the question of, well, what do we do next? Or like, where are we in the process of onboarding, right?
Absolutely. I think creating that mutual accountability on both sides. And there's, what I didn't show you was for your internal consumption, there is like a whole governance framework that you can apply on it. So, hey, who's, slipping in their engagement and where does a leader need to intervene? Where do you want to automate sending like communication to the customer that's going to force some action from them? So there's a lot to keeping projects on track and keeping initiatives going the right direction. And we've sort of built capabilities around all of that, whether it's a, budget risk or a scope risk or a schedule risk or a customer sentiment risk. You're going to hear about all of that through early warnings coming to you from Rocketlane.
That's great. Well, yeah, thanks for giving us a peek here. As you mentioned, I know there's a lot more to see in it. For someone that wants to see more, what's the next best step for them to take?
So this is the platform that you can just sign up for and start experiencing. So you can just go to rocketlane.com, sign up for a trial and try it out. But of course, we'd be super excited to demonstrate the capabilities. It's a very vast product by now. What I showed you is a small sliver, right? There's so much more that we can accomplish. So we're happy to do demos. So there is a link to book a demo as well on the site. So just go to rocketlane.com. Take a demo, sign up for a trial. Options are available, and we're happy to help.
Wonderful. Well, again, I'd like to thank Srikrishnan Ganesan, co-founder and CEO of Rocketlane, for joining the show. You can learn more about Sri and Rocketlane by following the links in the show notes.
Awesome. And I'm at sri@rocketlane.com. If anyone wants to write to me, happy to engage.
Perfect. All right. Thanks so much.